everybody, Good Buddy Q here with...
Lubo.
Yes, and we're here for another Let's Discuss. This time we're talking about kingdoms. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, and the first kingdom we're going to talk about is diamonds, the kingdom of wealth. Hurrah.
That's the kingdom, that's what we're starting with, because why not? It's the kingdom of wealth! It's the kingdom of money, of gold, of orange and red. Why the heck not?
Money, baby! Yes, so let's start off with its court. As you know, there's the three canon ones of King Francis, which is France, Queen Lily, which is Liechtenstein, and Jack Vash, or Bosch, or however people want to pronounce it, as Switzerland. Now that's the three canon ones. The rest of these are all, you know, just interpretations, just people we like to see in that position. So, okay. So the diamond ace is Antonio, which is Spain. The 10 is... There's two 10s. Like, again, there is more than one, number in a court. So sometimes you'll see doubles. So, the first 10 is the Crown Prince Matthew, which is Canada. But he's kind of missing, so he's not really part of the court. He just kind of vanished. The second 10 is Gabriel, or Portugal. The 9 is Sadiq, who is Turkey. 8 is Emma, who is Belgium, and 6 is Lovino, which is Romano. And all of them have titles attached to them, like Queen Lily is also the court magician. She's we'll talk about that more later. Canada is, of course, Crown Prince. Sadiq is a wealthy merchant. Emma is head chef and also married into diamonds, if anyone was wondering about how the hell she got in here. And Lovino is a squire to the ace, so he is still a henchman. And also, like, some of them, like, talking about immigration before, some of them didn't exactly come from, diamonds. Like, Queen Lily, for example, she was a political marriage. So she was former Hearts Noble, as was Switzerland. They kind of came in a group package because they're related and stuff like that. Belgium came into diamonds. You know, she married, so she's kind of married to Antonia. Yeah. And then Lovino, you may be wondering, why this Feliciano's in Hearts? Well, Lovino was in Hearts too. But he was kind of a troublemaker, what with harassing the Jack and the King. So they're starting to get on people's nerves and stuff like that. And Spain's like, hey, I'm getting like this thing in diamonds, so I'm being ace so he can like join me and be my squire, so I can take him off your hands so you don't have to banish him and he might not die. So there he went to diamonds, and that's where they are today.
Better than his other position, which was sitting there and bitching about the king. Yeah, no, that potato bastard, the potato king, is kind of an asshole. Romano, he's sitting right there. You don't have to... I don't care if he's sitting right there. He needs to hear it. Oh my god.
Fratello, why?
Well, at least now he has a stable job. And that stable job involves a lot of very, very pretty ladies.
Yep. And chocolate.
And chocolate! I mean, Belgium is our head chef and chocolatier within the castle. Now, she was not pushed to do that. She chose that.
Love.
Yeah, Antonio kind of swept her off of her feet, and it was really freaking cute. He was kind of down and out, and she offered him her clothing because he was cold. And he was just smitten. That seems to happen a lot.
Yep. Doki.
Dokies. Well, it would make sense in the Kingdom of Hearts, but anyhow. The language, they all share one common language, diamant, or, well, basically it's French for diamond. They speak French, and they are rich! Oh my god, they are the richest kingdom by far, holy shit. They are rich with precious minerals, gold, silver, bronze, brass. Well, brass is technically an amalgam of two, but anyway, and precious gems. And that kind of plays into their colors. They're orange, warmer reds, golds, yellows. It reflects their wealth. And God knows they like to reflect their wealth. They are the fashion capital of the Four Kingdoms, and they parade around like frickin' peacocks. Their architecture is based on Versailles and the court of the Sun King. You know, the guy who ate 20 or 30 courses for dinner and set forth a precedent that every country afterwards tried to emulate because he was so glamorous. Yeah, that guy. Their brand is based upon the relative wealth within the country, so their mark will fluctuate over time based on their bank account. It has little to do with daily life otherwise.
Yeah, it's just basically, you got your mark is like, it's how rich you are. You got a 2, you're pretty much po. You got 10, holy shit, you're rich. Of course you're rich, you're living in the castle. So, that's fun.
Yeah, and because of that, their magic sort of reflects that. They are stone and earth-based. Because of the land of gold, what else would you think? So things like large shields made of stone, melding into rock faces to hide, smelling gold and other precious metals and stones, and maybe the occasional glow to their skin. Now I'm not talking like twilight sparkling in the sunlight kind of glow, like sun-kissed, and it's sort of the women kind of have this, I'm trying to think of the word, the stereotype abroad that diamond women tend to be more beautiful than other women in different areas because they're always glowing with health and they're dressing really well and they're covered in stones.
Fancy.
Yeah, they are very fancy. They're fancy people, and that's kind of why they're really fond of titles. I mean, their king has 4 of them behind his name. Things like the monarch of the 4 golden points and things like that.
The gilded crown.
Yeah, the golden crown upon his golden head. Gold, 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 gold. Do you see a pattern here?
They smell it like a bloodhound.
Yeah, okay, everyone can practice magic in a sort of a different certain way. Like a blacksmith would be able to sense when the metal that they're pounding is about to split from the stress so they can remold it and refire it to harden it. Or a really good miner has a nose for it. He can literally smell the mineral that he is going after, and he can find vines of it very easily. Veins, excuse me. That kind of stuff.
It's neat.
Yeah, it's probably what made them really rich to begin with. Somebody was walking along and was like, I smell something. And it smells good. And they dig around and, oh my lord! Look at all this, it's coming out of the walls! And bam! They went from farm country to the mineral capital of the planet in like a generation or 2.
But like, it's like soap, you know, you can smell it and stuff like that, but you can't eat it. They don't eat it.
They don't eat it, they aren't rock biters.
Nope.
So, now getting back to the royal family. They're actually one of the tamer royal families, if that makes any sense. They don't have a lot of extra drama, there's not a lot of, social faux pas and shit they gotta deal with. I mean, sure, they party hard. They live it up, there's a lot of extra weirdness going on, but you don't really see a lot of uncomfortable things. It's more emotionally based on a lot of showing off and that kind of stuff. Matthew is from a previous marriage, because Francis's last wife kinda died in childbirth. That happened a lot back then. Medicine was not like it is now. Women had a really tough time surviving after childbirth because nobody washed their hands and they couldn't stop catastrophic bleeding. They didn't know how to recognize that the umbilical cord was wrapped around a child's esophagus, stuff like that. and giving birth was a very dangerous venture. And that's what happened to his first wife, Queen Joan. Lily's marriage was entirely political in nature, and the relationship isn't sexual at all.
Nope. Just like Francis goes over and, just like, hello, this must be the Queen's handmaid, and it's like, no, that's your wife, that's the Queen. It's like, oh, you look like an 11-year-old. No offense, I'll just spoil you rotten instead.
I understand that it would be kind of hard to adjust after the recent loss of your, of the most recent queen. I sent my condolences before, but I will not expect such things out of you if you don't expect such things out of me.
Oh no, just try to relax and just enjoy your time here. You will learn the trade eventually. Just do not worry. I will have a place set up just for you, and you are free to do whatever you wish.
Do you have a court magician?
No, not currently.
I can take that position if you'd like.
Oh, sure. Yes, go do the tests with the people who usually do that. I usually do not observe that kind of thing, but whatever.
You're welcome to watch if you'd like.
Sure, why not?
It'd be best if the king understood every aspect of his kingdom, after all.
Very, very true. You're so smart.
Thank you, Your Highness.
Ah, please, call me Francis. There is no need for titles between us.
I don't have to say we, do I?
Oh, no. It's just me. Oui?
Oh, not that kind of we.
It is a joke.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't need to be nervous.
Speaking of Queen Lily, she's the court magician, and she's a magical powerhouse.
She'll kick your ass.
She's this teeny weeny little tiny 90-pound thing that is more than capable of whipping your ass. Which is something else that we noticed in Cardverse. There aren't very many girls. No, not really. Just like in Hitalia, there are not very many women to be found. And certainly not ones in power. You have Queen Elisabetta, and you have Queen Lily. That's it.
Just them two.
Just them two.
And they usually get snubbed off for other royals to try to, be friendly with other royals, and it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that's how most girls in Hitalia are treated, though. So, as much as I dislike it, I kind of just have to roll my eyes. It just happens way too often.
Yeah. Anyway, moving onward.
Now, there's a long-standing alliance between diamonds and hearts. I mean, it would make sense. They intermarry on a regular basis, they trade on a regular basis, and they were former allies with spades. Former.
We'll get to that in a while, though.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that kettle of fish later.
And now we're moving on to the next kingdom. Hearts.
Kyo's favorite kingdom.
My favorite. Hearts. Kingdom of love. I love it already.
Love and awkward romance.
Yes.
Awkward kings making eyes at awkward queens, and a Jack that no one quite knows how he got there.
Yep. So let's start with the court, as usual. So we got the three canon, which is King Ludwig, which is Germany, Queen Kiku, who is Japan, and Jack Feliciano, which is Italy. While Ludwig and Feliciano were originally hearts-based, Kiku was part of an arranged marriage. But the arranged marriage was different this time, because Germany was head over heels for this one, that it just kind of turned out in his favor. That Japan was kind of like, he liked him a lot, but he didn't love him as much as Ludwig kind of had feelings for him, so they did get married. And then just over time, their love blossomed even more, and it was beautiful.
Oh.
They're the kingdom of love for, you know, a good reason. So let's go on with the rest of the court before I gush. So we got the ace, which is, Christian, which is Denmark. Now, a lot of people are like, isn't Matthias his name? But it's like, he doesn't have a canon name. So there's been a lot of names thrown out, like Christian, Matthias, a lot of other things, and we just thought Christian sounded best, because, you know, Hans Christian Andersen, so on and so forth. Just has a nice ring to it. And then we got the 10, Lucas, who is Norway, and he is the court magician. Yep, magic. But we also have a secondary 10, Diederik, which is Netherlands. Also known as the cleaner of fuck-ups, because we don't know how the hell Feliciano does his job, but he messes up a lot. He does it well enough, at least. He's got diplomacy down. Just a lot of other things he don't.
Like finances. Can you imagine Feliciano trying to balance the budget of an entire kingdom? It just didn't work, so in comes Diederik, taking care of fuck-ups, and kind of following Italy around to try and take care of things he missed. And keep him from crawling around where he isn't supposed to. Like when he wanders off to go flirt with court women. Felino.
Now, ladies, if you turn your attention here, and I do have some beautiful gardens at the...
Diederik's basically Germany away from Germany. Most of the time, it's Ludi to catch him.
Yeah, it would make sense if they were from two different branches of the royal family.
Yeah. Now...
Same general area.
Yeah. Now moving on to the 9s. There's 3 of them. We got Birdwald, which is Sweden, and Tino, who is Finland. Now these two serve as King Ludwig's guards, like personal guards. However, because of the time period this is based from, glasses weren't exactly invented yet. So, and Birdwald got kind of cursed with bad sight, so he's kind of dealt with it. So he looks very frightening, but he's just trying to squint so he can see. He's farsighted, so he does have a spear, so he is very, very strong, and again, very scary. He is, even though his vision is impaired, he is very good at, you know, sensing what's going on around him and stuff, even if his eyesight is shit. And Tino's also there, too, to, you know, help balance him out and catch what he can't get. And that fucker's an archer. Because, you know, he's usually a sniper, but that's usually not really shown in fandom very much. So, you know, fucking archer. He gonna snipe you.
With very, very, very high pressure water. Water can cut through steel if it's pressurized enough.
Yep, we'll talk about more on that one later. And then the third 9 is a bit odd, but, you know, hear us out on this one. Gertrude. This is a femme Germany. Yep, we got femmes. And she is the Queen's personal guard. And she's quite special, but we'll talk about why she's a bit more special in her position later. Then we got an 8, and this is going to be a bit weird to talk about. Natalia, Belarus, whom is the chief of police. Now, I bet you're wondering, what the fuck is Belarus doing here? Anyone else talking about marriage? Yeah, well, we'll go into more detail about her later. And then we have the 6th, the little bitty squire apprentice. Emil, which is Iceland. He's a magician's apprentice, and he is a grumpy baby.
Yeah, he's from the same area that, Burwald, Tino, and Christian are all from. And they're all super duper manly. And Emil, bless his little heart, he desperately wants to be as manly and awesome as them, but he's 11 and he weighs maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. You ever seen that comic? I'm not cute, I'm manly as hell. That's Emil.
Yep. That's the babe. And that's the court.
Now, the language, Hartsbriefe, it literally means, heart writing. It's not a word that exists out there in the German literature or language. But German has this wonderful feature where they take 2 words and smash them together in order to create a noun for something that they don't have a description for. Like, the word for nurse, Krankenschwester, or Krankschwester, literally means sick sister. Krankenwagen, an ambulance. Sick wagon. Works. They are the agricultural breadbasket of the Cardverse world. They've got good weather, very fertile soil, and lots of rivers, deep rivers and water. Lots of coastline as well, and it makes for great growing seasons and good shipping lanes. They're the second largest navy by raw numbers, and largest merchant navy. And their architecture is kind of Habsburgy. I was envisioning a sort of an amalgamation between Baroque German architecture and, you know, the typical, what we think of as fairy tale castle. So, Neuschwanstein, that kind of stuff. Now, their magic tends to be water-based, for manipulating rainfall and the tides to ensure good harvests and swift shipping lanes, that kind of thing. So you're looking at driving rain, manipulating the tides, desalinifying seawater, or basically turning it from salt water to fresh water, pressurized jets for self-defense and attack, ice. That's right, the ice belongs here in Hearts. Water, breathing underwater, that kind of thing.
Heart of ice indeed.
Well, we'll get to that when we talk about Christian. Now, the Hearts Kingdom is the most socially open and progressive. Their branding is based on social and military achievements, making it the easiest country to ascend the ranks and change one's branding. That is especially important, and we go back to Gertrude, our 9.
She was originally a 5, but because of, you know, military ranking and, you know, social stuff, she got up in the ranks, and now she was from, you know, lower middle-ish class to now she's in the castle, being the Queen's Guard, and they're not really in too much trouble, so it's pretty easy.
It makes for really easy ascension, but it also means that you can get demoted and descend very easily as well. Hearts has almost a social contract, kind of. It's where it's driving people to be the best that they can be because it will better their situation. You aren't really stuck in your position. You are only staying there because you are not changing anything about it.
And it's also not an obligation either.
Nope, it isn't. So you can stay at your position if you want to, but you can also rise. But don't screw up because you're gonna drop. It encourages people to better themselves. And that's awesome. It would figure that it's the Germans who did that. Well, Germans, the Dutch, and the Norwegians, and the Danish, and blah 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 blah. Now, for the king, now that we get back to Germans, he married out of love, even if he's an awkward baby and barely knows how to show it at first. I'm beginning to think that that's how the Jack got his job, because he showed a skill for negotiating and smooth talking, because he kind of hooked the two up and encouraged Ludwig to pursue Japan and be done with it.
Yeah, because, like, I imagine, you know, because Japan was a spade, no, shush. Japan was a spade noble, and, you know, they were trying to get a arranged marriage happening, you know, to help with alliances and stuff. But once Ludwig saw Kiku, he was just, boom, smitten, like, oh my god. And so he's like, hi, I know we don't know each other, and I know I'm actually supposed to be looking at your sisters, but, hello, I'm Ludwig, would you like to go for a walk or something? And then you just hear Fleetja on the back, and he likes you! It's just like, son of a bitch! But Kiku's
He's
just
been looking forward to visiting you for like 2 weeks!
And Ludwig just gets like super embarrassed, but Kiku just thinks it's really cute, and he's like, would you like to go for a walk in the garden? And Ludwig's like, I love that. And they just be all cute and shit, and you know, Japan eventually does fall in love with them too, and it's just all cute and stuff. Yes! I love it! Meanwhile, the Jack's useless as shit.
Unless he's negotiating things. Because he's quite good at working that tongue and getting himself and everybody else out of trouble.
Yup. And running.
Rude!
But Diedrich's there to clean up after everything else, so that's okay.
Poor guy.
Yep. Anywho, so we're getting kind of close on time, so next time we're going to talk about the clubs and spades. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. But yes, so that'll be for next time. Have a good day, everybody. Bye!